Hello and welcome back to Captain of Industry. So it's been a few days since I've recorded. Bit of a change up from normal where I tend to do videos almost constantly. But I've been away over the, I'm going to say the weekend, but this probably won't be out until sort of towards the end of this week or maybe even next week. Yeah, but it's been a few days since I've played, so I'm a little bit lost. I did watch the end of the last video to try and get myself up to speed a bit. So what are we doing? We've finished off the copper mine. We're starting to fill that in. That is looking fantastic. We have largely finished prepping this area. We have got this back section completely filled with dirt. That looks amazing. We need to move this water pipe. That's probably the next thing we need to do so we can get rid of this little nubbin sticking out there. That we put as a marker for where we want the farms to start below this point to save us a few tiles so we can get some belts behind for the water pipe and for the coal, copper and coal belts. That's great. We have got household goods up and running. I think that was a few videos ago, but we've got household goods up and running, so that's amazing. This is all looking okay. We've got quite a few servers in stock, so we can increase our teraflop if we needed to, our teraflop production. What else is going on? Oh yes, this little nubbin here, I left myself a reminder for that, didn't I? Yep, we need to get rid of that. That's something for us to do. We are getting very close to the point where we can start thinking about moving our farm production up here, which means we actually need to design our food production facility. That's something to worry about probably at another time. Basically, we've been doing a lot of sort of pre-production, a lot of stabilizing before we go much further. So they've been dropping dirt in there. Don't think dirt is part of the global dump logistics. It's not. That's good. What do we want to do here? That's a question for us. The farm's only going to go up to here. We probably want to cut this off here and do something here. Maybe cut this off along here and like turn this into like a, and put like a big ramp in somewhere for stuff. I think that's probably what we'll do. Haul truck struggling to find a destination it can reach. Where are you trying to go, my friend? Where are you trying to go? To any of those locations? Well, why don't you go in from this side where you can go? Wouldn't that make more sense? I think you better figure that out on your own. That's fine. What other things we got up here? Farmers could not store, but David Walker struggling to find a destination. Does that mean that we've cleared all of these trees apart from these two for some reason? That's amazing. That pretty much means that all of our tree harvest is now surplus to requirements. We could stick more over here, but that's probably a bit excessive. So the next trees, there's like this island, and then we need to get over here. We have started dumping over here. What were we doing here exactly? Just that. We were just making like the little starting bridge for us to get across. Because you can get across there, you can get across there. So we can start dumping down there. That is probably more important than anything here. So yeah, so we've got a little bit there to do that they're probably still working on. But I don't know if that's a dumping or a, yeah, that's a digging designation they've got there. So we could probably start thinking about getting rid of that. And then the other one they've got is over here, but they've actually finished all of that. So I have actually forced them to go to either here or over here. This one's probably quite important because this is where our uranium mine is. Not that I think we'll be digging uranium anytime soon, but it's also the next source of trees for us. So if we came here, put this into down mode, thank you. Bring this down to level 1, go flat. And just bring this over here. And then we'll worry about getting a route up there at some other point. But if we can just get that done, that'll be fantastic. And then we could not store all the potatoes after harvest because this belt is backed up. Why is this belt backed up? Because the potatoes are full and the output belt of potatoes isn't going anywhere. What is going on here? We have one section of belt which is going the wrong way, do we? It doesn't look like it. So why are you not connected? Literally no idea. You keep getting to the next stage and then stopping. That belt does look like it's pointing in the right direction. It is pointing in the right direction. I don't know why you're stopping there. Because there's a hole in the belt there. That's why. I just want to copy a belt. Doesn't really matter if it's that size. That's fine. Probably could do with upgrading that all to a Mark II, since we now have so many potatoes, so let's do that as well. And where do you go? All the way down there. That should be okay, because I'm assuming you got a split that comes... No, that is the split, because you only go to one place at the moment. That's fine. At least I'll get the potatoes down there a bit faster. Oh, there is a split. It is that one there. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That should get us potatoes moving now, which will help to empty that, which will help with the harvest, not be able to store stuff. Okay, cool. Problem 1 solved. We are still outputting lots of medical stuff. That is looking okay. We have a demand of 23. We can make more than that, so that's absolutely fine. Okay, right. We have also upgraded our power productions. We can now, and we did upgrade that. Yeah, we did put that at max power potentially if it needs it. One of the last things we did was we got this here up and running. So we are now converting all of our stored waste, which is this one here, our retired waste, which is now empty. That is coming over here, getting turned into recyclables, which will at some point get picked up. No massive rush for that. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we needed to worry about. Microchips was the other thing. Microchips was the other thing, because we're currently making 8 microchips. And we are using 6, at least 9. At least 9 plus more here? No, just the 9, because they just go there. Do they go anywhere else? No, I don't think they do at the moment. But we do need to sort this out. So we're going to have to delete a lot of this, probably all of this pretty much. And what I said I would do is, oh yeah, he's that one, that's fine. Tree plant strength, fine, that's all fine. Is just build one long line of 12. Now we could box it up a little bit, but I don't think we need to. We did fit the 12 in before, so that shouldn't be a problem. If we go 3, 6... 12, so it'll go up to there. So it's going to be quite tight with the wood box there. I might have to get rid of that one. And then let's start doing this. So if we delete this now, and I'm aware you've just put... Oh, it's not microchips you're putting over there, so that's fine. Let's just... Should we bother pausing them? Let's not bother pausing them. Let's just... we can pause these ones. And we'll delete this bit of belt. And we'll delete this. And just for now, we will pop that in just to get those microchips off of there. That's fine. And we're also going to have to delete this. And we will delete a good chunk of this once these microchips have moved on. If we go to at least there. Now we do need to preserve access to this slag box. That's quite important. Or we move the slag box over here somewhere. There's not a good place because that's quite a heavy thoroughfare there. Not that I'm sure they can really get through there. No, they can't, but little trucks can, and little trucks use that quite heavily. We might need to fix that so larger vehicles can get through there. But those pipes go down quite low, so that's going to be a pain. So let's not worry about that. So instead, let's copy these, put them there. Let's not copy the ground. And then there, and then there. And then we need our storage box. Do we need a storage box? It gets sent over there to a storage box anyway, so perhaps we do not need a storage box. What we do need is you to connect to there, which should preserve access for trucks. Let me get a big trucky boy. Yes, maybe, only just. You know what, just to be safe, I'm going to put a lift in. Just to be safe. So we need a flat lift, which we need to be this way. We need it to be flipped. We need you to go there, and up to height there, I think. And that should help preserve the access for larger trucks should they need it. Let's just have a little look at a larger truck. It doesn't make a lot of difference because of that pillar there. Can we get rid of that pillar? Yep, perfect. That'll make it a lot better. Okay, so that's what we're going to need. So let's get rid of this. Don't need that. And then over here, we need to change all of the recipes. So we don't want that one doing anything apart from that. We don't want this one doing anything apart from that. This one is going to be that. And then this one is that. Is it? Wait, no, I got myself confused. That's not right, is it? 1, 2. Should be that one, shouldn't it? Pretty sure. Soon find out, I suppose. This one then would be this one. That one. And now I'm definitely confused. So now we're on to the next stage. So you would be that one. You would be that one. And then you would be the bottom row. Which means you should just be the microchips at the bottom. Excellent. We then need to copy this belt down as well and the pipe work. So let's take this, put that in. If we put this here and then extend these out. To there. Get rid of that bit because we don't want that. And then we want these to continue as well. With snapping off. Oh, because I turned snapping off? Yep. Or the magnet off, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. So if we do that, that should be now something we can connect up to there. I'm going to have to extend the end ones anyway, but that's fine. So let's pop that there. Pop that there. Pop that there. And didn't quite work as I wanted it. Okay, that's fine, because we can just do this. Which is going to lead us into Pillar-ageddon, where it puts pillars absolutely everywhere. And then, yeah, we need to do these as well now. Not sure we've really saved ourselves much time there, but hey-ho. So you need to go into there. You need to go into there. You need to go to there. And you need to go to there. And I see you've been put in as a Mark II there for some reason. Let's get rid of that. And the rest of that looks okay. So I think that's everything we need. Yeah, I think so. So let's just unpause all of that. And then we can delete this belt here. We don't need that anymore. Surplus to requirements. We can also get rid of that and that and that and that. And also unpause those. They're quite important. Okay, what we didn't change, however, was... we did change these. Okay, we didn't change this one for some reason. Let's get rid of that. And this one, let's get rid of that. So that should be okay. They might have some products in the stock which are going to confuse matters. I guess we will find out later on. We now don't need that or that. Let's unity those because we need to get that connected back up. So we may as well get rid of that and that. And connect that in there instead. Okay, how are we doing in terms of unity? We've got so much unity. So anything that hasn't been delivered, just deliver. That's fine. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. And we also could do with those pipes there, if you don't mind. Thank you. And those belts. Probably could do with all those belts as well. Okay, so they've all been built. So you're running, you're running, you're running, you're running. You are waiting for these. You don't have anything? You're waiting for gold. Where is the gold? Gold doesn't have this one. That'll fix that problem. As always, we just need to give this one run through and make sure it's actually all working. So you're now running. You're waiting on hopefully these. So you're now running. I think we're okay. I think that all looks okay. We have a high supply of naphtha. These are all running pretty much constantly. So let's unpause those ones as well, just to get more of that naphtha processing. Just get rid of a bit more. Although saying that's not actually full, so it might not be a concern. The fact it's getting full, I guess, is why we put that alert on there. Okay, so I'd like to see some microchips coming out some point soon, which should be, yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're all running. I think we're all running. So yeah, we have our first microchips out, so that should be running fairly constantly now. Perfect. So that will actually, in theory, give us 12 microchips per minute now, because they should all be processing constantly, and that should give us that. It's obviously increased our teraflops demand, but not substantially, at least not to a point where it's a problem. That excavator is out of fuel. Hopefully someone is coming to fix that at some point soon. Maybe we need more fuel trucks. Sandy control tower is out of things to mine. We can fix that. I think we need to give you more more space as well, don't we? But that'll do for now. That'll do for now. That'll get us some more sand. We do have our emergency backup sand there as well, of course. Whew. Right, so everything okay. Iron, oodles of iron, full of construction parts. Oodles of steel, oodles of mechanical parts. Doing okay for household goods. They are all full, apart from the microchips, but I'm hoping that starts... Is there more than one? Or does it only make... It makes 12, it says. But only put 6 on the belt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Okay. Fine. If that's what you're telling me, that's what you're telling me. We are basically full of servers, which is obviously fantastic if we need to up our teraflops. Okay, cool. Right, next thing then is this water pipe here. So we are going to delete this from... Do we want to go in under that bridge still? Probably. Probably we do want to go in under that bridge still. So let's go from here and then delete all of that. That looks fine. And then let's take this pipe. Let's bring this at height 5 up to, let's say, here. This is where I sort of wish that I'd flattened this out a bit more, but hey diddly ho. In fact, we didn't do this little corner here. Ha. 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 Okay. I think we need to fix that. Where is the flattenator crew at the moment? Nope, not you. You, where are you? You are down doing this bit. That's fine. I want you to come back up here and do this bit. Before we get ourselves confused, let's take the dirt dumper and give this a pointless area here so it doesn't do anything I don't want it to. Are we doing okay for dirt? We're doing okay for dirt. I mean, it's getting there. We need to put an alert on this one, really, to notify me if you're full, so then we can look at just dumping dirt globally. We should be seeing a train of excavators, which we can see just here. We're going to work their way up there. That is beautiful. Thank you, my friends. Maybe after that we'll come get rid of the nubbin as well. And I think there's a little tiny bit over here as well. Yeah. Let's also get rid of that, because it annoys me that that is there. And there's also a few little bits just down there as well. Let's get rid of those. Any other little bits I can see? No, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, we could think about doing some more surfaces at some point, but I don't know. I suppose we should have some construction, some concrete blocks backing up, just because we are full of concrete parts. Construction parts, that's the word I was looking for. All right then. That's rather annoying, because we can't do much until that's done. I might get rid of this bit as well, just because it's there and it frustrates me. So if we take this and bring this here. In fact, can we bring you over to there? And then you won't go up there. I mean, I guess that's fine. Trucks can still get there, that's alright. So I'd like to bring you to like here. Start and end are in the same place. That's actually fine, because I'm going to break that in a moment. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you going to do what I want you to do? No. No, that would be ridiculous for you to do what I wanted you to do. Can we Unity that bit, please? Okay, so that is now completely out of the way. So now if we come over here and say flatten all of this as well, that would be fan-dabby-dozy. And also, I suppose you can't really do, or you can actually now do this bit as well, can't you? So do that bit as well. And then let's go and make sure you got the area you need to do that. So you're going to have all of that. Excellent. Last little bit of terraforming we need to do. That shouldn't impact any of the pillars on this belt, which obviously we need to move quite drastically because it's in a silly place now. And then we need to start filling this with dirt at some point as well. All right. We need to decide what we're doing over here as well. But really we need this filled in before we can worry about that. Okay. So whilst we're waiting for that sort of stuff to get done, I suppose the next thing to do would be to start thinking about planning out the actual food production, which I've been sort of dreading. I know that these are the exciting parts of the game, these builds, getting it all nicely done, but it's such a massive undertaking that I am actually somewhat dreading it. Okay. So how are we going to do this? Let's get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. I feel like we need more space to do this, but I don't think this is flat down here, is it? It's pretty flat. Honestly, I don't even really know where to start. These guys will be done quite soon, so we need to keep an eye on that. Okay, so let's think about this. So we are going to have farms somewhere. We're going to have a farm. Bosh. They're going to be all here. So if we have the food coming out this way. No, we want it to come out this way, really, don't we? So the food is going to come in from the right. And then I'm sort of thinking, what do we want to be processed first? The easier stuff? Is there easier stuff? I'm just going to move all of this down here. How are we going to do this? And I did say it's going to have all the food on, well, it's going to have to come in on mixed belts at some point, isn't it? Because the farm's going to have different stuff in them. Well, they've already done all of that. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, we do have a, oh, we did have, oh, they have dug out further than I really thought they would. That's because they went down to 13 and I told them to do 13. Of course that would happen. Flip that. Let's unity that. I can't believe I did that. It's obvious in hindsight, isn't it? How far are you digging? I'm guessing that's the end of that line. Yes, okay. So we're going to have food coming in from there, down there, and around. So should we do these first because they're easier? How many belts are we going to have coming in? I really don't know yet. This is the thing. It's just finished doing that. Okay, that's fine. In which case, flattenator. No, I just clicked on the word flat because it had flattenator in it. Edit area. You know what I meant. That didn't make any sense, but you know what I meant. So you're going to come back down here and just continue working on this. That's fine. And then we want the dirt team coming up here. Pause. I've already got it, so I want to draw this in whilst we have it. So you're going to come here. We want you to dump dirt up here. Do I need to give you a ramp? I don't really think we do. So if we just get rid of all of that. And then 14 up to there. And then we just need to be a little bit more careful here. That's probably fine. They're going to end up dumping a fair bit of dirt down there, I think, but we'll cope. We'll cope. I just didn't want to have that poorly planned and have them doing something silly. Where are you going? You are all incredibly confused. Incredibly confused. Okay. So canola does oil, soybeans do oil. Wheat does flour, but that gets turned into that stuff. Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure how to go about this. Not entirely sure at all. What we could do with is knowing actually how much space we're going to have to play with. So if we just come and pop a farm in, let's give it an extra couple of tiles above it as well, just in case. And let's get ourselves a little marker pipe. Don't know why I use pipes, but we'll give ourselves again probably about 5. No, we're having 2 of these, aren't we? So if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't give us massive amounts of space to work with, does it? So we want to come in, it's going to pause it so the trucks don't get confused and try to reroute themselves all over the place. So it's going to be about there. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just as a little marker so I know that. Okay, so if we come and delete that, delete all that, and then cut all of that. So that is our marker for how much depth we have to play with. So we are going to have, let's pause the game again, belts coming out somewhere around here. And coming down somewhere around here. Stop being weird. Let's go flat. Yeah, so the belts are going to come along the farms, they're going to come down, and then we're going to want them to basically come straight back on themselves, I think. And start doing the process in there. That's sort of what I'm thinking. If I cut anything off there, no, so I should be able to get past. A bit of a route for it to go, but that's fine. Just want to make sure I've done the dirt properly. Yes, I have. Okay, that's fine. It's always a concern they're going to look up when they just started dumping a load of rock up there. Still not sure if there's a good order to do this in. Not at all sure. I guess we just need to start and we'll just take it from there. So what's first on the list? Vegetables. Let's just do vegetables first. Okay, so that's a flat belt, which is handy because that's what we've got here. So we'll give it 5 again. So we're going to have vegetables coming in here somewhere. We are going to need a sorter to get those off. Like that. You are going to be set to vegetables. I can't bother to look through the list. There we go. Vegetables. Vegetables are going to come out of here. That's the total space, isn't it? Yes. That's all fine. Vegetables are going to come out. What do vegetables do? They can get turned into food packs with tofu. It's the only... It's probably easier if I do that, isn't it? Yeah, that's the only thing they can really do. So do we need a balancer first? And we need to get the vegetables off first, don't we? So we need to get the vegetables off. Then we're going to need a balancer. Then we're going to want to take that into this production, wherever this is going to go. If we ever do this. But I'm assuming we're going to need food packs at some point. Whether it's easiest to use tofu and vegetables, or eggs and bread, or meat and bread, I don't know. But we want that set up, I suppose. So if we put this... I'm probably going to have a lot of lifts in here rather than anything else. So if we send them... there, that probably will be the priority out once we're doing it, but we're probably not going to do that for a while. Do I want to just shift all of this up? So if I say this is actually... I wish that would still put those belts in. So that's actually going to be the edge. So we're going to probably want potentially a few of those. These are then going to want to come down into some form of storage. Oh. Let's just... bring that there so we know where that is. So we're going to want some form of storage. Let's assume it's going to be big storage. And it can't go any closer than that. So if we put that there. So that is going to be food packs. Potentially we're going to have other things coming in there as well. But okay, so we've got those in place. Stop it. And stop it. There we go. Anything else from vegetables just gets taken straight down to vegetable storage, really, doesn't it? Stop it. Stop it. So we want another one of these to go right up against it. I feel like this is going to be like the most complicated build I've done. Maybe apart from the oil, but the oil seems like it's so much easier because it's almost designed to be set into a modular sort of thing, isn't it? So the vegetables are going to come there. Then we're going to want to belt the vegetables out. Down to the foods, down to the farm. Down to the houses, to the food markets. That's what we want. We now have a low supply of naphtha. Okay, that's fine. So let's just pause those two again. We don't want to run out of naphtha. We just want to try and micromanage that a little bit. That's all fine. How are you doing up here? Oh, we are all done. Okay. Let's work on this first then. So, I'm immediately annoyed that that belt is now there because it's going to make this pipe do silly things. Is it going to go over it? I would like you to go over it. Thank you. So we want you to come down to here. Over to, I guess, to here. And then up to here. You are then going to come all the way along here to here. And then you're going to find somewhere sensible to connect in there. And that has to be a Mark II pipe. A Mark II pipe. Hello. Mark II pipe. Thank you. Because that's what it's connected to, isn't it? Yes. So let's get that built. That is that pipe in place. Job done. Then we want this, which is going to play silly fools with me. Okay. Do I want that straight up to height 5? And one of them is going to have to be height 5, isn't it? So let's just do this one. So you're going to come along here. I'm going to bring you straight across there. I've left a 1 tile gap, so I'll continue that there. So you're going to go to there. And then you're going to come down to, I guess, about here. And over to there. And what one is this? This is coal. Coal is currently on height 4. That's very frustrating. Okay, so my recording software crashed some time ago. So at the time, I think I was putting in the coal belt, maybe the copper belt, I don't know. Either way, we have got all 3 belts in and the pipe coming along there. So it looks like this one has also emptied, so we can get rid of this. The copper belt, we are still waiting on emptying. That goes needs to get deleted from there. We could unity that little bit away because that's never going to happen on its own. And we've got the water pipe coming across, which does a weird little thing over here because of the copper belt coming in. But I couldn't really see a nice way of doing that, so that'll do for now. I don't know what else we got to, but over here I put a little bridge in for the iron, so we still have access for large trucks to get in and across. Although little trucks are just going to ignore it and go wherever they want anyway, that's fine. And then I was thinking I might need to move this back a little bit depending on how many farms. So then I was like, well, let's start thinking about how we're going to get the farms done in a tileable manner. So this is what I've come up with. Now then, looking at this straight away, these need to move. These are no good. Because we need that to be up 1 higher, because we want it level. We don't want it hanging over the farms. So I'm trying to make sure that it's a bit neater down here is my first attempt. So we've got a balancer in at the bottom there, just to make sure that if resources are coming in from prior farms, obviously not at this end, and then mixing in with these, that everything is getting balanced nicely. And then it gets split into 4 lanes of traffic, so we can try to make sure that we have plenty of throughput for everything. But that's not going to work quite there. I'm just going to get rid of this so I can see what on earth is going on. Yeah, because we don't want it going any further down than... I guess that's the edge of the farm there. So we don't want it going any further down than that, really. And I staggered these for a reason which made sense at the time when I was using the lift. But maybe if I'm not using the lift anymore, we don't need to worry about it. I might need to get rid of these temporarily, just so I can get under here. So we can get rid of that and that. And then let's try shifting this up 1 then. And then we would want this to go here and here. So if it went there, this one would connect there, this one would connect there, they would connect there, they would connect there, that would connect there, that would connect there. This would connect. No, I want you to connect to this one. Like that. So we have
a lane of traffic coming into a mixer, which goes into this one. 2 lanes there. Same on the opposite side. They all go into one, which then has 4 lanes of traffic coming out. Like that. Okay. And then we would want the same for this pretty much. So you would go to there, you would go to there, you would go, this is going to be problematic every time, you would go to there, you would go to there. And then these are going to be the awkward ones. You, I would want to come, well, that's not too bad, I'm quite happy with that. Can I get you into the slightly closer one without causing too much kerfuffle? Yeah. Yes, I can. Just for some reason, if we need that extra port at some point, at least we've got that then. Perfect. And then you connect to there, you connect to there, you connect to there, you connect to there. Excellent. That is what I think we want, or at least it's what we're going to try in the first instance. Obviously, these are all Mark 1 belts as well, which might need to be changed. You are struggling to find... Oh, you sorted yourself out. Don't worry about it. The flattenator, though, of course, to finish mining things 100 years ago. Oh, no, it didn't, because I moved you down here and you finished mining that. Wow. Okay. Oh, do you know what? Go get rid of... In fact, no, get rid of... Let's do that again. Get rid of all of that. Cool. Could not store all the potatoes after harvest because this is still moving excruciatingly slowly. The potatoes should be coming down here now on 2 belts and they're coming into these. You cannot get rid of your fuel gas. Aha. Okay. Is there anything we can do about that? So we have full fuel gas currently, which is fantastic. You can't get rid of the hydrogen. You can't get rid of the petrol. Is there anything else we can do with fuel gas? We could burn it and turn it into steam. For what purpose, I don't really know. We use it for concrete. We use it for alumina when we get there. We use it to make waste. We use it to make hydrogen. We use it to make chemical fuel, but we're definitely not there yet. Or we just gas it off, but I don't really want to do that either. Yeah, not a vast amount we can do about that unless we have just more trucks doing stuff. And actually, our trucks are quieting down for a little while, which is an unusual thing. Right, anyway. So we need to get rid of this, because I want this all the same. I can't see because that message is in the way. There. Ignore collisions. And then don't put in it. I wish it would just connect the stuff up anyway. So I have no idea if this is going to work, or if this is sensible, or if this is overkill. Like, I've got absolutely no idea. In my head, it makes sense, but that's a very dangerous place to be, I guess. So we want that going up to there, I think. Okay, we still need to do the pipes as well, of course. Hadn't considered the pipes yet. Okay, let's get rid of that. So I guess we want to do a similar thing in here, don't we? Where we are going to want a couple of pipe balancers. We're going to want some water coming in, which we're also going to take off of here. Just wanted to copy a Mark 1 pipe in. We're also going to want fertilizer 1. Actually, let's... Nope. So we'll have water coming on one side and fertilizer on another. We're probably going to want... Do we want all 3 fertilizers coming in? Let's plan for all 3. How does that work? Hang on. Because we also want them all to carry on, don't we? The flattenator's finished doing all of this down here. Beautiful. What's the flattenator going to do now? What's this random bit of pipe? It's probably from where we had the rain harvesters. What is the flattenator going to do now? I probably want to do stuff around here, but I don't know quite what yet. So... we could either like flatten this, or this, or just carry on with this, I guess. Again, I saw the word flat, and I was like, that's what I want it to do. No, so let's just carry on with this. But where we don't need it, like where it's already flat, let's not dig it out to 3 for no reason. Looks like that's about... I think there's a bit there we could get rid of. It's quite hard to tell, isn't it? And that's probably fine. And then at some point, I guess we start putting dirt in here. But, yeah, it's a problem for another time. Flattenator, come over here. Rectangle, do all of that. Do we want to come up? We might not want to come up that far. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of a couple of those, just in case. Just in case what? But just in case. You look like you might be running out of something soon. Yeah, you're getting there. So let's just make sure that you are prepared and do this. Just so you have more to do. Okay. Right, yeah, this, because we want... obviously we want the fertilizer going in at these places, but then we also want the fertilizer carrying on. So I need to think about this a bit. So this one wouldn't be too bad. So you would go there, and then go there and carry on. Is that right? Or do we want a balancer for each of them? Then going into another balancer? Then why would we want an actual balancer for each of them first? What purpose would that serve? What purpose would that serve? How are we going to do this? Well, for starters, that's the wrong one. So let's fix that. So I think you would go in there, and then you would carry on up there. Do we want that? Because then we have the same problem where half of it's going into this, half of it's carrying on. But then half of it's going into the next one, half of it's carrying on. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And that's why I'm trying to use balancers all over. So maybe we do want something very annoying, like one for each. I cannot tell where that is. So one for organic. One, don't do that. One for Mark 1. Oh my word, stop it. It's so hard to see what's going on here. Well, do you know what? First of all, let's get rid of all that. I don't know why I'm struggling with all this here when I don't need any of that anymore. That's going to help. Starters. Okay, you. Connect to there. Connect to there. Go an alternate route. Nope, what's the alternate route? Control. There we go. But then I'm going to want all of them going into another... Well, for starters, let's get the water connected, actually. So the water's going to go in there. That's fine. That's sorted. Then you guys... So you're going to want to go there. I want to do the bottom one first. This is massively frustrating. So you go there. You go there. Nope, because I'm going to want that one. So you go there. You go there. You go there. Except I don't think I want... I don't want them on that side, do I? Because I want this to connect to there. So we've got one of them going up. We've got another of them going up, and we've got the last one going up. And then all of those flipped around, connected in there. So we have the water on the outside and the 3 fertilizers. I think that makes sense. And then this one would then be prioritized to say whether... Oh, we're going to do one priority, can't you? So would we do something like... Okay, so let's decide which is which. So it's going to be 2, 1 organic. Okay? So 2 is going to go in there. That's going to be the priority out. Do we want a priority out? No, we don't want that. We want a priority in. We want 2 to be the priority in. And then we want 1. We want 1 coming in to 2. 1 comes into 2, and we say that 2 is the priority input. No, because I'm just going to try and output 1 on there. Don't want that. Oh, I cannot figure this out. Do you know what? I'm going to have to take this offline and just think about how this is all going to work, because I cannot for the life of me think at the moment how that's all going to work out. Because obviously we don't want that. Maybe we need another 2 balancers. Which is silly, but that might be the way it goes. 1, 2, 3. We're already up to 5 there. Yeah, I don't know. I can't figure that out. So I think we might just have to leave that there. But this bit I'm quite happy with. That bit I think is great. And I should probably be doing this down here just because it's a bit nicer for us to look at and work with rather than trying to figure this out. Because also we want this one. So this one actually needs to come out a bit more. Because we're going to want this to come in from here. I'm going to want to flip that because we're going to want the water coming in here, but also going down to the bottom, as well as any additional water source coming up. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to have a think about this, I think. So yeah, we are getting there though. We have started planning out our farm positioning. We're not going to have anything going up the middle, which means we can do this. And say we're going to have... Okay. Okay, so that didn't quite work. So you're going to go there. You're going to go there. We get rid of that again. So I need to extend those by 1 tile, I think. Then if we copy that, we can put that there. There we go. That's what we want. This is the whole reason we started doing this, because we were like, how many farms can we fit in here now? And the answer is that many. I think we would just struggle getting those in. Or maybe not. If we got rid of those pipes, maybe we could fit that in there. That's interesting. So how many does that give us at the moment? Oh my word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, that gives us 24 farms. That sounds like a lot to me. I don't know what the ratio of products is going to be on those farms, but that is what we're going to have. 24 farms, all connected up to these lovely belts over here. No idea if that's enough, but we do have potentially 4 belts of throughput, and those could go up to... Why can't I upgrade to a tier 3? Don't know. Not going to worry about it. But yeah, that seems like a lot of farms. And then all the food will come out there. It'll come down here. And then it will work its way along here to get processed down here. Cool. That's going to look amazing. That is going to look absolutely amazing. We do have to figure out how to get all that food down here, but that's another problem. As always, that's a problem for future months. Yeah, so we can't get rid of all our potatoes after harvest. We could turn our potatoes into animal feed, I think. We could turn our potatoes into animal feed, which gives us more compost. Maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. What's a nice way of doing that? We would have to put a balancer in. If we put a balancer in like here. It's that classic Antz, isn't it? Like, we're going to start thinking about finishing up, and then we do 50 other things. So you're going to go there. You are going to get built, and you're going to prioritize that output. But if you can't do that, then go back a little bit further. I mean, why? Yeah, why not just do that? Why is straight not your default? Then you can go into there. We will unpause you. You will be set to do potatoes into animal feed. Yeah, hang on a second. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So get rid of that. Get rid of that and probably that balancer. Because actually we want that balancer in to be about here. What is this pipe? That makes our corn belt go so weird. It is connected to nothing. Don't know. Not going to worry about it. It's not my concern. So you are going to prioritize that output. But if you can't do that, you're going to come across here. And you are going to go into here. And you are going to do potatoes. There we go. And then you are going to come to here. And you're going to come to there. So we're going to unity you, we're going to unity you, we're going to unity you, we're going to unity you. So if we're unable to process our potatoes, that's what's going to happen there. I'm guessing we've got the same problem with corn and sugar stuff as well. Can we also do sugar cane? No. So we'd have to put a filter and then a balancer. If you wanted to do corn, which might be worth it. Haul truck is struggling to find a destination it can reach. Oh, I thought I unitied that. There you go. Is this belt empty? Oh, it's so very nearly empty. Ore sorter is full due to blocked output. That's because you can't get rid of your dirt. So let's mark dirt for global dumping. But then let's stop trucks from picking that up. I don't want you really taking stuff from there anymore, although I think you're still going to because you already planned to. Hey ho, not the end of the world. Okay. That should help sort that. We now have a high supply of naphtha. Let's unpause those two again. Sulfur is also looking very healthy. So I'm going to turn the export on one of those, but not both of them. We have a low supply of iron ore. I mean, not really. It is set to what at the moment? If you're less than 75, which is less than 2,000. So I think that's fine. I think that's fine. And everything else I think is also fine. Didn't need to do that. What were these? Household goods. We've done that. Also household goods. Done that. Get rid of those. We managed to copy it with the bit down there. And also put down a different tile type that I'm not using anywhere. So when you copy something that's got a surface, it doesn't copy the same surface type. That's interesting. We're not researching anything at the moment. Should we be researching anything? I did look at that earlier and then just immediately forgot because that's the sort of place we're at the moment. I mean, there's microchip production too, which would mean we would use 18 of the wafers. And we make how many wafers? 12. That's annoying. So we'd need 3 of those at that point. Ah. Yes, that is annoying. But right now, that's fine because we're full of everything. Recycling edicts, vehicle management we've already done. Medical supplies 3 is interesting. So that would use ammonia and hydrogen fluoride. And we haven't got poppy, so we don't need to worry about that until we've got the next stage of stuff. Saying that, we are going to want to plan that into our build, aren't we? So we are going to want that. And let's get the ship engine done as well. And let's see how our production copes with actually using these machines down here to do stuff. Let's see if it can cope. Okay, right. So I'm going to have to figure out how these are going to work. That's absolutely fine. We're happy with the food output belts. That's not a problem. And that is also lovely and tileable as well. We did tell them to dump stuff over here. They haven't really done much of that, but that's absolutely fine because they all have access to this. And this is... oh, I mean, it's almost there. It's almost there. That's amazing. Saying that... hello, little nubbin of land I've only just noticed. We are going to want to get rid of that. It does actually go underneath that that surface as well. That's particularly frustrating. So we are going to sort that. But it's going to be annoying. It's going to be annoying. Okay. You've already mined out all of that. We are absolutely smashing through sand. Quite concerned at how fast we are smashing through sand, truth be told. So let's mark that, and then let's edit the area and just move that up there. Yeah, quite concerned at how fast we're going through the sand. So once that's gone, we're then relying on this pretty much. And then I suppose at that point, we open up the quartz mine. And then find a way to belt quartz in, which seems horrible. Right, hang on, that copper belt is now finished. That's amazing. Let's get rid of that. We're going to have to unity it because there's no way anything's going to make it up there. This water pipe here should be empty, so we can also get rid of that. Unity that. So that's going to tidy up the mountainside. And this all just looks a lot neater now. We could probably tidy that a little bit up as well, but that's probably not much of a concern. And then, yeah, look how neat this looks now. I mean, there's a little bit squiffy there, but it's much better. Much better. Cool. All right, then. So we are finally starting to plan in our farm setup. We've got space for 24 farms. I'm assuming that's enough. If it's not, then maybe we build additional farms up here, and this becomes like a secondary farming area. The good thing there is if we build them up here, it's not far to belt down to our what's going to be our food processing area here. I am wondering if we do need to fill this up. Oh, that has actually finished to a higher level. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I suppose until we've planned out this, which we didn't get very far with, we don't really know exactly where we're going to need the space. But okay, let's leave it at that for now. So I'll figure out this, hopefully, before the next video. I will also maybe have a go at this, so you don't just watch me looking at this going, do you know what, I've got absolutely no idea. I've got no idea how we're going to do this. And now we are taking all the stuff to dump over here, which is fantastic, but we're going to have lots of trucks complaining they got no space to dump stuff. Because you are moany little things. So let's also add that back in as well. Because we're nearly there. We're nearly over to this, and this is oil, coal. Oh, this is the other starting island, isn't it? Yes, it's got a little bit of everything. So, you know, that's not bad. We can get some oil in there and like at least belt it over here so trucks can pick it up. That's cool. We could not store all vegetables after harvest. Everything is now backing up because you are full. And it looks like the animal feed is also starting to back up because you cannot process this fast enough. So let's get this plugged in. And this gone as well. Let's unpause that so that's actually filling up again, because we might as well store a bunch of animal feed for when we do need it, which isn't quite yet, but we will at some point. And then we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with all the rest of this as well. Yeah, problematic. So we've got, I mean, everything basically. Everything is backing up. Vegetables. This is a problem one, because if that fills up, yeah, so I think we're going to have to get corn off of here as well. Going into something. We always give it its own input, couldn't we, I suppose? Yeah, so maybe I think we're going to have to do something about this next time, because we have so much. I mean, I'm unpausing these because we've got full fuel gas and diesel. We're not really processing the naphtha there either. Yeah, just too much stuff. We've just got too much stuff. You know, first world problems and all that. Fertilizer 1 is full. Where do we make fertilizer 2? Here. Just can't make fertilizer 2 fast enough. Well, let's build that. No reason not to, right? You got fertilizer 1. We make fertilizer 2. That'll just get us more food in our farms. That's great. We've got loads of organic fertilizer. Some might say too much organic fertilizer. But we can't really make organic fertilizer 1 faster. Are we currently piping fertilizer 1 out? Yes. And fertilizer 2. But we're not piping organic fertilizer out, which I think is fine. So does that mean that all the farms are full of fertilizer? Nope. Why not? Why not? You've got organic fertilizer coming in. You've got fertilizer 1 coming in. You've got fertilizer 2 coming in. They go into this balancer where it tries to prioritize the fertilizer 2. I think it's because it's got enough fertilizer 2 in the pipe that it's just using that. I think this needs to be changed. This might be the last thing I do, he says. Well aware that he always says stuff like that. Nope. Are you at height 5? You're at height 5. Okay. So you go into there. You go into there. Why are we taking an output from that and splitting it? Just send it out. So now why is stuff not going down there immediately? I know we have a priority input, but you have other stuff in the pipes. So why are you not sending it down there? There's nothing in that pipe. There's nothing in this. Oh, there is 2 fertilizer 1 in that pipe segment. Now there's 2 organic fertilizer in that segment. I don't know why when we have fertilizer 2 in that pipe. But yeah, but this whole thing is getting very confused, I think, about the fertilizer that it has available. So because there's 2 organic fertilizer in that pipe, it won't send any other fertilizer. And it won't get rid of that fertilizer until it thinks it can put it somewhere. So if this has got... I mean, that's got nothing in. So whatever's in there should be going in there. But it's not. So this is why I want to move this over to using balances and stuff. Because this is... Because we've got loads of fertilizer. We've got so much fertilizer we don't know what to do with. We have no stored fertilizer up there. This side seems to be working a lot better. It's not just like we've got pipes going in the wrong... Huh? I mean, seriously, why has that not warned me that it's been unable to store stuff after harvest? Not that we need that extra food, and not that we really need this fertilizer coming up here, I suppose, but... Yeah, so that fertilizer pipe's definitely going in the right direction, but we have 0 stored fertilizer. This pipe has nothing in. 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 Nothing in the connectors. This pipe has nothing in. Nothing, 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 nothing. 2 organic fertilizer. Which is stuck there. Why? Yeah, it's just getting very confused over this. Whereas this side seems to be working a lot better. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. For a brief moment I thought doing this would change that. It is now sending a lot of fertilizer to up there, but then it immediately stops. So I don't know. Yeah, something's going weird and wrong with that. Could not store all the vegetables after harvest. Yeah, we were already aware of that as well. That's just another problem for us to worry about. But you are only soybeans, so you're fine. Okay then, right, let's finish up. So we've got problems with our farms, but the problem isn't that we don't have a lot of food. So, you know, it's not the worst problem in the world. We've got plenty and plenty of food. We probably have too much sugarcane, because that's about to fill up. That is a problem for us. Might just have to put a temporary bucket in somewhere until we can figure out what to do with it. What can you do with sugarcane? You can turn it into sugar and biomass, or you can burn it for fuel gas. That's literally the only things you can do with sugarcane. Don't do that anymore. But you don't get any fertilizer. Or, you know, you do get fertilizer, don't you? So you're actually okay. So if I just leave you doing nothing else, so just take the sugarcane out of there. It's just not necessary. We've got too much. Yeah. Cool. All right. Everything else is fine. You are doing fine with medical supplies. We've got very severe flu, but we've got medical supplies to help cope with it, so we're actually not losing population, which is wonderful. Trucks are back to being super busy. That's absolutely fine. Right. Yes. So we're dumping back over here. Probably is more important they dump over here. We'd still have trucks doing that though, although that is a very long way for them to travel. The flattenator team is working on this massive chunk of mountain, just generating us lots of rock basically, which is great. And this is going to be our newest ongoing project, which is probably going to take several videos for us to sort out, depending on how much I do off camera. But it's a lot of work, so I'll try to do a little bit. If I can get if I can sort these pipes out, decide what I'm going to do with those, that would be very useful. You can sort of see what I'm trying to get at, but we're just not quite there yet, are we? Yeah, I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll try and sort it out. Cool. Well, I hope you're enjoying Captain of Industry. If you are, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all those amazing things. I will see you next time. And as always, thank you so very, very much for joining me.